Great to see you all here today. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. We're glad to have you at First Evangelical Free Church, and our mission is knowing God and making Him known. Our passion is we are becoming disciples, living as a family of disciples, serving as disciples in our community, and sending disciples into the world. So just a couple of things about announcements. Regular schedule this week, so everything is back on that we normally have. We have Sunday night, we have Wednesday night, everything's on. Thursday morning, men's Bible study, it's all on. The other thing is, I don't know if you noticed, but it's January 31st, so it's the last day of January, and that's a really important date. You're probably wondering what it is. Well, it's today, or yesterday, since you can't mail things today, but employers and businesses and churches and other charities have to send you information regarding your taxes. And I'm sure you're all looking forward to that, doing your federal taxes. Well, we sent our information out on Thursday by email, if we have your email address. And if you're like me, though, that went into my junk mail file. And so check that if you didn't get a statement from us, or contact Rita at the church office, and she will get that for you. So again, the last point of our passion statement is we are sending disciples into the world. And right now we're going to have Barry come up, head of our missions committee, and talk to us about some missions things.
Well, good morning. And I'm just always appreciative of Pastor Don and his reminder of our mission statements. And he double reminded you today, and I'm going to triple remind you. We hear every week this reminder of serving as disciples in our community and sending disciples into the world. And if you're like me, some of you sitting here today aren't quite sure what we're doing in this church, and we need better communication with that. And that's one of the things we're continuing to work on as a missions committee. But the other thing you might be wondering is, how are we serving as disciples in our community? How are we sending disciples into the nations? And is that happening? Did we sit on the bench for this last year? And so I want to bring two important small announcements from the missions committee that relate to those things in particular. The first thing I want to do is thank this congregation from the bottom of my heart for the donation that came in for the giving over the Christmas Eve offering. That Christmas Eve offering that you gave allows us to guarantee that Compassion Preschool at Westside Christian here in our building will continue next year, and we'll have another full year. And so I also want to let you know that as a missions committee and an elder group that we're reading this book, and it's out of the 9-Mark series called Missions by Andy Johnson. And so as I was reading that a second time, I came across a couple of sentences that I want to share with you. The first one says this has to do with reaching the nations at home. It says this: many of us don't have to board international flights to reach people from other religions and other cultures. We just need to open our eyes, look around, and engage the nations in our own cities and towns. If you don't know it, we are engaging the nations right here in Sioux Falls. If you don't know it, we're engaging the nations right over there in these classrooms, okay? I can tell you this, that many African first-year refugees or first-generation refugees are coming right here to our church building every single day with their kids. We've got first-generation refugees from Russia. We have first-generation refugees from the Middle East, and they're congregating right here and hearing the Word. Little disciples are being made in our church building every single week, and it's part of your generosity. We do need some more help. We need help with this. We need more volunteers. I need people that'll get up at 7:30 and be to pick some of these kids up. I need more people in small groups to step up and make meals. We've got families in here making 40 lunches every week, and that's just gone so smoothly, but we need more people engaged in that. But I can tell you that we are engaging the nations through what we're doing right here, and it's very exciting. In fact, we had a little boy that started last year in the preschool class that came to us and speaks only Russian. And now this year he's in the pre-kindergarten class, and he's going to be ready to go to kindergarten speaking English. So it's just amazing things are happening. I'd love it if this is your passion for you to come see me and find ways to plug in. The second thing, I'm going to read you a quote about this, has to do with short-term missions. And there's some really good points about short-term missions in this book. But what caught me is a number 4 point that says this: invest in long-term relationships. Begin to invest in long-term relationships overseas with people that you trust and respect. If you've been in this church for long, you know that we've got a sister church in Petlapishka, Mexico, and we've been engaged with this church and that group of churches for 11 years now. That's long-term. We've been sending groups for a week to 10 days, 8, 9, 10 times. Last year, Randall Hill and I got a chance to go and preach and teach in many of these mission sites. And I don't know what this year looks like as far as travel. You're in the same boat as us. But I can tell you that great things are happening. That local church in Petlapishka has been gathering as a group in person for all but 2 months. And I want to let you know that your donations that you're giving with your little kids to our Sunday school are going to buy curriculum and materials for the Sunday school down there, and they've done that. We've committed to that over the last 10 years, and that's happened down there. And so, a couple of prayer requests for Petlapishka. Pastor Julio and Flor down there both have diabetes. They've been struggling with their health. And number 2, just that the church would continue to grow and proclaim down there. The other thing I brought to you the last time I brought a message is that Pastor Candido, who started all these mission churches down there, passed away. And it was a tragic situation last April. And his son Enoch has now taken over the reins down there. And so it's been really good. They voted unanimously to have Enoch lead that charge, and so that's good for unity, but we got to continue to pray for continued unity. One last thing as I close. With regard to the Compassion Preschool, one thing that we've seen is just incredible diversity, and we really value diversity, but one way that we can engage that diversity is by sending our own people there. And so 3 or 4 children from our church have had the opportunity to attend that Compassion Preschool right here in our church. So I would encourage you, if you know preschoolers that don't have a spot yet, I would encourage you to consider Compassion Preschool right here and engage the nations with your own family and with your own little ones. So thank you very much.